Hello everyone, my name is Shatrupa and today I have brought to you yet another video on interview session overview. So if you haven't watched the first video, I would first request you to please go and watch the first video and then you can relate to this second video. So first video was just one part of the interview session, the other part can be coding, okay? So in the first video I've just explained only the theoretical questions. Now let's have a look on kind of coding questions that can be asked in the technical rounds. Okay, so these are the kind of coding and output based questions that are often asked. Okay, so if you have a look, the first one says code based on simple string extraction. Okay, like it can be they'll give you a string, say Java is a language. Okay, this is the string. Now they'll ask you to extract all the string from the position 2 to say 10. Okay, you have to extract all the string between positions 2 and 10. Now it can be inclusive of 2 and it can be exclusive of 2. Like you will count 2, you'll consider the character either at position 2 or you cannot consider the variable at the position 2. Okay, so like it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 and 13. Okay, so from 2 to 10 you need to print till here, from V to U. This is known as simple string extraction. Now they can tell you that you have to include the value at position 2 or they can tell you not to include the value. When it is not to include the value, that means you have to start your extraction from A to U. But if they say you have to include 2, then you please have to start your extraction from V to U. Okay, so that will be mentioned in the question and they can ask you based on this simple string extraction. Okay, so whenever they tell you that extract string from 2 to 10, that means the 2 is included. Okay, so don't ask on your own that sir whether you want me to include the value at 2 or you want me to exclude it. So don't do it on your own. Just whenever said from 2 to 10, simply that means it is included. Okay, that means the value at the position 2 is included. If not, he will mention. Okay, so always go for the code which has the value in position 2 included. So if after you finish writing the code, if he says that why did you include the value at position 2, you can simply say sir because you didn't mention excluding it. Okay, so then he will tell you that okay whether he wants it to be excluded or not. If he says you, then you can go ahead and extract the string from A to U. Okay, the entire detailed coding shall be done in the upcoming videos. Next is simple one. Okay, like based on patterns, like it can be there will be, say suppose stars. Okay, there are stars like this. They'll ask you to print this kind of a pattern, or the most interesting one which they think they should ask is something like this. Now if you notice, wherever the stars are there in the first row, the next row is having the stars at the space. Okay, wherever there was space in the first row, in those space areas the second row stars are being filled. Again in the same is happening for the third row and same is happening for the fourth row. Okay, so this is one of the interesting and the most favorite question. Okay, so it cannot be a star always. They can even tell you to print dollar. Okay, like this. So they can just give you anything. You just need to do this. This is a proper triangle. So you need to execute this kind of a code. Okay, so these can be pattern based question. Then one of the kind of question, they normally don't ask this question. Okay, but if your luck is very good, then you get direct questions on palindrome. So what is a palindrome? Any number or string which written in both direction read the same. So if I write 121, I read it from this side, it's 121. I read it from this side, it's still 121. If suppose I write dad, okay, I read it from this side, it is DAD, dad. If I read it from this side, it is again DAD, dad. So These are palindrome strings and this is a palindrome number. Okay, so they can ask you to do palindrome on any one, maybe a string, maybe a number. Okay, and prime number is only on number. We know the numbers that is divisible by 1 and itself, that is a prime number. So you have to write the code accordingly. A string cannot be a prime number. Okay, this should be very clear. Okay, it's only on numbers, so prime number will be there. What is a Fibonacci series? The first value is 1, then it's 2. Okay, then the next value will be 1 plus 2, it's 3. The next value will be 2 plus 3, that is 5. Then it will be 8, then it will be 13, and so on and so forth. Okay, that is a Fibonacci series. So if you are way too lucky, then you might get these questions, the direct questions, but if not, then you have no other go through. You have to solve whatever question they ask. Okay, they basically don't ask palindrome, prime and Fibonacci series. Next is an Armstrong number. 153 is an Armstrong number. Why? Because cube of individual individual digit and their addition will again give me 153. Okay, cube of individual number and their addition will again give me 153. If that is the case, then the given number is a Armstrong number. Okay, if this is the number taken, okay, 153. Now it will ask you whether this number is an Armstrong or not. So what you need to do, you need to find out the cube of individual digits and then add the values. Okay, 1 cube is 1, 5 cube is 125 and 3 cube is 27. The value is 153. So 153 equals 153 true, then it is an Armstrong number. Okay, so if you consider similarly 121, now let's do the cube. 1 cube, 2 cube, 1 cube again. Okay, so 1 plus 8 plus 1, it's 10. So the 10 is not equal to 121, so it is not an Armstrong number. Okay, so again I'll say that detailed coding shall be done in upcoming videos. Okay, so I'm just giving you an overview. You can try these codes on your own. Okay, I assure you that I'll be putting up the codes very soon. Okay, next is a code based on reverser string. Suppose they have written Java and you have to write this. This should be the output. Okay, so how will you do that? So there is a direct command for reversing a string. Okay, you can do that, but what is the problem? Because they sometimes says Java, C, C++. Okay, now they will say that you need to reverse the individual strings. That means your output should be it was Java, then it was C, then it was C++, right? This is the given entered string. Then your output should be AVAJ C and plus plus C. So what it did, it just individual strings were reversed. Okay, so this kind of question also is possible, how to reverse a given part of the string. Okay, you are reversing just a part of the given string. The spaces are as it is here, since there is nothing else, only C is there, so you write it from anywhere, it's still going to be C. Okay, but the other numbers other strings shall be reversed. Okay, so this is a kind of a question they ask. They generally don't give you a single word. Okay, they give you a combination of few words and ask you to reverse the individual words in that string. So again, you can try this on your own. I'll be putting up the code however. Okay, next one is to find the second largest number. Okay, so suppose you have a number, say 15, 27, 39. Okay, these are the three numbers that you have. Now it is saying you to find the second largest number. Now we know that this is the largest number, 15, 27 and 39. Okay, so we know that this is the second largest number. So but how will you write it in a code? Okay, first you need to find the largest number. Then you need to compare. Okay, that is how it works. Okay, the first comparison, the first iteration that will have the first smallest number, like it will compare 15. Is it less than or greater than 39? It is less than 39. Okay, so 15 will be written, 27 will be as it is, then 39. Then it will compare 15, then it will compare 27 and 39. So again it will see 27. Is it less than or greater than 39? It is less than 39. So the number will stay as it is given. So how will you find the second largest? You have to compare the remaining numbers. Okay, that means you have to compare 15 less than or greater than 27. Okay, so 15 will be less than 27. So that means 27 will be your second largest number. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So moving on to the next question. Next question is sorting. Okay, sorting is basically concept based. So it will ask you questions on like DSA. It that only has sorting. Okay, it can ask you questions basically on merge sort, where you have to explain what is a merge sort. Then you will have a question based on quick sort. These two sorting techniques are very important. Okay, read these two thoroughly, and even heap sort. Okay, these kind of sorting techniques are very important to know because they are having a different kind of a policy. One is having divide, this one is having divide and then join, right? And this one is having a concept of pivot. You need to find a pivot element and you then need to sort the array. Okay, and similarly heap sort is also important, where you arrange them properly in a form of an heap, max heap. Okay, so these are the three important questions on sorting which can be asked. Okay, next is again a concept based, like abstraction. This is basically from Java. Okay, abstraction, then interface, encapsulation, inheritance, singleton class. Okay, so these are certain direct concept based on Java. Okay, where you need to know the codings directly. Okay, so if you are sure of the coding, make sure you have every definition and one example for every concept. Okay, for abstraction you must be having one example, for interface one example, encapsulation, inheritance and singleton class. Most importantly, you should know one thing over here, that how is an interface different from abstraction. This is utmost necessary. Okay, how do you differentiate between abstraction and interface? Okay, like how will you know that it is an interface while that is an abstraction? You should know this. And apart from that, it is mandatory to know how to write an interface and how to write an abstract class with example. Okay, real time example as well as code based example, both. Alright, now next moving on to array elements. So there can be simple codes on array element, like to find the index, find index of a given, say suppose they have given a word like Java. Okay, and it is stored in an array. Okay, now this is 0 1 2 3. Now they'll tell you, you need to print the value from the index number 1 to 2. Okay, that means you'll just print A and V. Okay, so this can be a kind of a question asked for array. Okay, next coming to, these are output based. Okay, they can give you small syntax, like they can tell you that tell me, is this the correct syntax for writing a main function in Java? Okay, they'll just write down int main, and maybe there is some code inside it. Okay, and something like this, when they'll tell you that tell me, is this the correct code to write a main function in Java? So whatever your answer is, yes or no, you need to give them a proper explanation, that why are you saying that. You need to support your answers. Okay, well, this is not possible in Java. Okay, for Java we always need a PASVM, public static void main. Okay, So next one is they can write a small code like say int array 4 is equal to 1 2 3 4. Okay, and I am running a loop for I and I am printing the value of I. Okay, suppose my loop for I is running from 0 to I less than n minus 1 and I plus plus. Okay, and I'm printing I, so you have to tell the output what it will be printed. Okay, so they'll ask you these small codes and small syntax. They can even give you the statement expression. What is a statement expression? I had told you that this is a statement expression. Okay, if this is true, then this is executed. If this is false, then this is executed. Okay, so they can give you such kind of a statement expression as well. Okay, and they can suppose they have asked you to write a code. Okay, suppose the second largest number, you have written a code based on these three numbers. Okay, and this is the second largest number. Now it will ask you, based on the code that you have written, they'll ask you to find the output. They can change the number. Okay, because the numbers, they don't want it to be entered by the programmer. This should be a user input. Okay, so they'll ask you to find the output. They can do that as well. So these are certain kinds of questions on based on coding that are most frequently asked during an exam. Okay, sorry, during an interview. Now moving on to how to deal with this coding questions. Okay, first of all, I'm having a spelling mistake in online over here, so ignore that. Okay, they might ask you to write in an online compiler if the interview is happening from home. Okay, or they might ask you to write in paper if it is a walk-in drive. Okay, so that depends. If the person wants to test your knowledge, he can ask you to open any online compiler and they'll ask you to write down the code. Okay, if the interview is happening from home. But if it is face to face or a walk-in drive, you are going to their office campus, then they might give you a paper and a pen to write down the code. So if it is an online compiler thing, then you need to write the entire code and compile it. Why? Because if you just write down the logic, it cannot be compiled. Okay, but that is okay. If you don't know how to write the entire code but you know the logic, please write down the logic, and when he says you to compile it or run it, you can tell him that, sir, I'm not sure about the entire syntax, there might be errors, but this is what the logic is, and just work out that logic and explain him. Okay, that is how he is going to be satisfied. Okay, you need not write the entire correct code in the interview. No one expects that. Okay, and but if it is written in paper, then no need to write any syntax or anything. Just write down the logic and explain him. That is how it will work. Okay, only go for writing a syntax when asked to do so. If he says you to tell me the logic of the code, just tell the logic. If he says you to write down the entire program, then only write down the entire program, else don't write down. Okay, in both the cases, try to first find out the logic of the question, and then you may write it down in your preferred language. May that be Java, C, C++, Python, anything that you want to. Okay, but logic is very important. So if you explain the logic correctly and you don't know how to write the entire code properly, that's still okay. Okay, but then you know syntax, everything, and you can't find out the logic, then that will become a little issue. Okay, do not overdo a given question. Be very sure upon this. As much asked, only answer till that point. Okay, no need to add your extra point that this can be the next thing that we do. Don't do that, not necessary. Okay, only work upon the code till where you are sure about the output. Okay, suppose you know that first in that say that second largest number, you are sure that up to the first step will be to find the largest number. Okay, so that is 39. You're sure till here. Then write down the logic till 39. Okay, write down the logic till 39. You need not go ahead. You can say, sir, I'm sure that up to first we need to find the largest number. Then maybe we'll start sorting them. We might compare them. Okay. So you might say something like that, but can it will be great if you can give me some hints so I can proceed further. Okay, but do not add any wrong line of code. Okay, which you are not sure about. Okay, you don't know what will happen next and you are saying something wrong. He is going to make you a fool out of over there. Okay, so don't do that. So you only write down the code till where you are sure of, and you know till here you are correct. Okay. Output questions are simple questions. Okay. So try to understand what is said in the code and then reply. Don't be in a hurry. Like it is said that int a of 4, and there are values given, and there are only 3 values. Sorry, there are only 4 values. Okay. And what you do, you see the question and it's written that printf a of 5. Okay. So what you'll do, not say a of 5, let's say a of 4. Okay, this is the question, that this is a of 4 and here also they have written a of 4. What you will do, you will simply write the answer as 3. Remember, whenever we write here, we are giving the index value. Okay, so if you consider the index value, there is no 4. It's going to end in 3 itself. So make sure you're very clear. Try understanding whatever the code they have put in front of you, because the code are really simple. Okay, they will not give you a 100-line code to find the output. So there are small things that we often miss out and we finally give a wrong answer. So don't do that. Okay. And last thing is to try remembering the concept based codes beforehand. Like I said, one concept based code for sure is an interface. So if you say a Java, that your favorite subject is Java, then he's for sure going to ask you one question on interface. He'll tell you to write a code like where you can illustrate interface. Okay. He'll ask you to write a code where you can illustrate interface. Okay, so you need to know the concept of interface. You need to know the code about an interface with an example. Okay, so this is the entire structure. Okay, so this is all how to deal with the coding questions. Now moving on, that there are certain questions, okay, which are a must ask by a technical person. Okay, like he is there just to screw you up, so you end up in a frown face and then he says, okay, I can't choose you. Don't let that happen. Okay, when he asks you that can you work in any language provided, like suppose you say your favorite is C and C++. Now remember one thing, all multinational companies, they have almost stopped working on these two languages. Okay, now what is there in trend? Java, JS Node, PLSQL, Oracle. Okay, then there are Node.js. Okay, I've written already. Okay, Node.js. Then there are PLSQL, JavaScript. Okay, so these are the things that a company is now really working on, the high-end programming languages. C and C++ are going to get obsolete in few years and MNCs are going to stop working on these two codes. Okay, so let's improve our skills in other subjects. Okay, let's not request teachers to teach in C and C++. If they have chosen Java, then that is for a reason. It is not because the teachers have a master in Java. That is because this is what the companies are now using. We need to understand that. Okay, so C and C++ they are not going to use in very near future. Okay, so whenever they ask you, like suppose you have already said that your favorite language is C, C++. Yeah, I missed out one more, Python. Okay, then there are many more, so that goes on, the list goes on, but not C and C++ are not included. Okay, most of the companies have stopped working. Now if you have said that your favorite language is C, C++, and once you join the company, they ask you to change your language to PLSQL/Oracle. They give you these two to work upon. Okay, you have to work upon Oracle Integration Cloud, OIC. They say you, so will you be able to change? That is the question. Can you work in any language provided? Don't hesitate. Say that yes sir, I will treat it as an opportunity to learn a lot more. That will not only help me develop my skills, but also I can contribute to the organization. Always frame your answers aptly. Okay, no is not an answer in the interview. Keep this in mind always. Okay. Next, can you work at the odd hour of the day if there is a client need? Okay, say yes, you can work. Now they'll tell you, after working for 8 long hours, who really wants to work at the odd hour? Okay, so be very honest and tell them, sir, if I need to serve someone with my hard work and dedication that will pay me off later, then I can work at the odd hour of the day. Okay. Then it says, can you complete a given task? Okay, before deadline. There's missing thing. Given task before deadline, if need be. So what happens? The client might have said that we need the deployment by December, and something happens to the client in between, and he says that no, now deployment will be in October. So 2 months deadline has been shifted, and 2 months is a very vast time. Okay. So, can you do that? Can you work when this deadline has been reduced? Deadline never gets extended. Okay, that's a very rare case when the client feels like extending the deadline, but that never happens. Okay, so can you do that? Say yes, sir. I will try to the best of my ability to satisfy the client's need. Okay, never say yes, I'll do it. I will try. Okay, because you're not sure. 2 months and you don't know what you will be doing. Maybe when client says it is already September mid, okay, and you have to give it by October end. You just have 1.5 months left and you have to do the work of 2 months extra. So always say I will try. Okay. Now moving on, can you compromise a holiday or vacation to meet the organization needs? Tell them yes. If need be, I will compromise. Why? They'll ask you, why will you do that? On a holiday or a vacation, you will compromise that and do office work. Then you say them, yes, sir. Because without office paying me, I cannot be on an holiday or vacation. Okay, so if need be, I have to compromise my vacation once in a while to get the organization needs fulfilled. Okay. How will you help yourself when you're stuck in a problem while working when no one from your team is able to guide you or help you? It may be so that you have a problem while working in the code, and those people on the team who are free, they have no idea about that code, and the people who has the idea, they are busy in meeting or some other work. How will you help yourself? Simply say that I will try searching over internet. If not, I will try solving on my own. I will ask some other team member, some other team's member who might have experience in this, or I shall last stage will wait for my team member to be free to help me. Okay, so this should be the state. First you will try, last will be that you will wait. Okay, so this should be your answer. Next one is, if suppose you are given a task in which only your experienced other member has no knowledge about the work and you already have some pending work, how will you cope up with both the tasks as they both have the same deadline? It often happens that one person is doing a particular task and in middle of this task a second task is assigned. Okay, so he has to complete both the task on the same day. That is the deadline. He has to do it by the same day. So how will you cope up? You'll say you have to manage time somehow. And if need be, you need to work extra hours. Okay, maybe 1 hour or 2 hour a day, and you need a plan that you'll plan up once you're in such a situation. If such situation occurs, you'll set a plan where you need to manage time and put in little extra effort so you can get the desired output. Okay, and he might tell you that why do you want to work so much after 8 hours of long day? You say, sir, if I need to build my career at the initial stage, I need to work hard so later on I can relax and chill. Okay, if asked to switch the language of your preference to a language with zero knowledge, how often would you be ready to switch? Okay, so this question was asked to me, so your answer would be better that I would switch I would switch, okay, to a language with zero knowledge. Suppose I have no knowledge on Python. I'm currently working on Java. I would switch and I would study Python till the point I master myself in certain skills of Python, so that I can at least serve the company or the organization with whatever knowledge I have gained. Okay, and then I might even choose to switch to another language. But at a time, if given a chance, I would switch only one language until I master a skill. Okay, they might ask, what if there is a need in the company? Say them that is a rare case where I will choose to switch to another language without mastering the previously assigned task. Okay, but after completing this language mastery, as it was the need of the team, I would again come back and master on Python to gain some skills which might later on be useful in serving the organization. Okay, so always arrange and frame your questions. Now I'm going to show you what are the courses that I'm going to cover in all these interview sessions. And not only interview, there will be questions even for your online tests. Okay, so I'm going to cover the chapter 1, that is Java. Okay, every little aspect of Java from core to advanced shall be covered. Okay, because you see all the MNCs mostly have started working on Java. Okay, there are hardly any organization who are really working on C++. They are going to become even obsolete maybe in near future after 5 to 6 years. Okay, so what you need to really brush up is Java skills, PLSQL. Okay, Oracle becomes a high-end thing, but still you can try Oracle Integration Cloud. You might have studied that in universities like PA as a platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, software as a service. All those are part of Oracle Integration Cloud. You can try reading them at least in free time. Okay, so coming back to Java, what I'll be sharing in Java is everything from core to advanced shall be covered, keeping in mind, okay, keeping in mind, not in my, okay, the online test and interviews of different companies. Okay, so all the companies shall be considered, and from that point of view, Java shall be completed from core to advanced. Okay, and all possible coding questions shall also be solved. Okay, one more thing, all the coding question that I'm going to solve, that will mostly be in Java, and in some cases I'll be giving you the logic and I'll ask you to write down the code in your preferred language. Okay, next is data structure and analytics. Data structure and analytics, that is DSA, basically includes searching, sorting and time and space complexity. Nothing much is asked from this area except this searching, sorting, time and space complexity. Okay, so I'll be covering them. So if you have anything else after this, okay, like graph and all that also will be done in data structure, no worries. So if you have anything else other than that, please comment in the comment section. Okay, so it stays there and I can refer back later, because if you do it in the live chat, it becomes a little complicated to search. Okay, and then it is DBMS and SQL. Okay, so see, database is becoming a growing subject. Why? Because we are having a lot of data now to keep them in the cloud. So how to arrange them, DBMS is becoming a important source now. Okay, so all the concepts of DBMS like normalization, view, transaction and all, they will be explained, and how to write queries using structured query language and important questions related to SQL queries shall also be discussed. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to teach is the operating system. So every aspect of operating system, all the important aspects like a scheduler, a job scheduler, a CPU, a process scheduler, deadlog, live log, critical section problem, everything shall be solved. Okay, not only from online test point of view but also majorly from interview point of view. Okay, so this is all that I'm taking off as of now. So if you have any other chapter that you want me to cover, please comment in the comment section, not in the live chat. Okay, please put it in the comment section so I can refer back when need be. So this is all from my end. I hope I've given you a little overview, not little but actually the entire overview, the first video and the second video. Okay, so this is the complete overview of the interview session. Okay, theory and code I've solved both. Okay, yes, and the code, actual code of these questions shall be there soon. Okay, If you have any other queries, any other doubt, you can please put it up. I'll be answering them. Okay, so that is all from my side for today. So thank you. Hope this video was helpful to you all.